So today I came to the very profound realization that we are programmed to hate ourselves and others. Everywhere you look, Instagram, social media, even in real life, talking to other people, you're made to compare yourself to others and others compare themselves to you. Now that creates a lot of friction between friends, families, acquaintances, colleagues, whatever it is. You're made to judge others that you deem less than yourself or less than the status quo. You might even be made to hate them, right? According to what your parents say, according to what the government says, according to what social media says. Every time you open your phone, guarantee you'll see at least half your feed is someone living a better life than you. Apparently they have everything right. They show you their morning routine, their workouts, what they eat, how they sleep, what they read, their hygiene routine. It all looks so perfect. And you don't realize this. But when you see that, you will begin to dislike and even hate yourself. Because then you immediately think, well, if they can do it, I can do it. So you try. You wake up at 6 a.m., you meditate, have a cold shower, go to gym, eat well for 2 days, and then you give up. I've been reading Atomic Habits recently, over the last couple days now, because I've gotten back into reading. And everything you do or try to change has to do with your identity. And I have talked about this a number of times in the past. If you don't think of yourself as a swimmer, why would you swim every day? If you don't believe you're a swimmer, why would you swim every day? If you don't believe you're a reader, why would you make the effort to read every day? As long as you have the perpetual belief that you are not what you are trying to achieve, you will never achieve it. You will never achieve it. Because when you look at social media, even other people in real life, you want what they have, but you don't know their problems. Everyone puts on this facade that they're better than they are. No one is as good as they seem, and that's okay. That's okay. There's a level of understanding that goes into socializing with other people. When you speak to me, if you were to speak to me right now in person, if you were to come up to me, I would immediately put on a mask because I'm not perfect. I'm preaching what we should be doing in this video. I'm going to, but I'm victim to this as well. I'm 19 years old. I've had 19 years of having the feeling that I must be better instilled into me since I gained consciousness. It's all around you. There's a culture of fear mongering as well. People that are different to you, people that look different, act different, speak differently to you. You might think that they're less than, or that they're too weird. There's no more understanding. There's no understanding for the difference between you and another individual. If they are not like you, without a doubt, 90% of people will feel that twang. It's a twang of, I'm trying to find the word. It's almost like passive aggressiveness, where you'll accommodate them, but if they look deeply into what you're saying and your tone and everything, you'll have a slight tone of, I wouldn't say malice, but I'm going with malice. You'll listen to it. You'll hear it when others are speaking to you online, in person. Because there's such a big ego culture right now, where if you don't put on the performance that you are the best person out there, or you're actively working to become the best person, the most successful person, the fittest person, smartest person, talented person, if you're not doing that, then everyone is going to ask, who are you? What are you? You know? If you don't compare yourself to someone else and say, I want to be like them, no one's going to understand you. If someone asks me right now, who do you want to be? I'm going to say me. Who would you want to be out of anyone else in the world? Who do you want to be like? I would say me. And that is such a unique answer. That is such a unique answer because everyone has someone in mind they want to be like. Everyone. Because everyone quantifies their worth by how successful they are in terms of monetary gain and social prowess, even sexual prowess, how much sex you have, how many friends you have, how much money you have, how many material things do you have, how many fights have you won, even how good are you at drinking. There's so many things that people think is their value. And that's just not it. That will lead you down a very dark path. And that's why so many people can't seem to break out of the constant loop of not doing well. They try new things, they fall back. They try new things, they fall back. And that constant repetition of trying something new and failing and not understanding why you failed will make you a very, very hateful person and pessimistic person. Because that was me. That was me. I put on, when I was making my old videos, when I got in front of the camera, it was a performance. It was always a performance. I was trying my best. I was doing this. I was working harder than you. I was working harder than I was working yesterday, right? I did all these things today. I'm so great. I had this superficial idea that because I was working harder towards things that I didn't even really care about, I was better than the people watching me or the people around me. Because I would think, they're not doing that. They're not working as hard as I am. There's two places where self-improvement comes from, and that's from a place of hate and from a place of love. And this time around, I finally got it. I am doing this out of love for myself. Every time I have a negative thought, because me in particular, when I have a negative thought, it spirals very, very deeply, and for a very long time. When I start daydreaming negatively, after I daydream, my days ruined. And I used to just allow that to happen. But now every time I have a negative thought, I say a couple of things. I say I'm an honest and kind person, I'm doing my best, and I will spread positivity. Those 4 things I tell myself every single time I think of something that would put me down, irrationally put me down. I'm not like him, I'm not like her, I could have done this, I could have done that, I missed this opportunity. Who the fuck cares? I don't care. I don't even care. You know why I would care? I would care if someone else saw me not doing as well. That's the only reason I would have cared. So I don't now, because I'm doing this for myself. I wake up every morning, I make my bed, I drink coffee, I go for a walk, I come back, I go to gym, I read, I journal. I've now started meditating. I started hitting forearms every day at the gym because I wanted to do that. Just because of me. Everything nowadays is purely how you present yourself. And I don't like that. I want to change that, personally. I would rather see the real you, and I can comment, not criticize how you're acting, how you're speaking, your opinions, but I can comment on them, and you will take it with an open mind. That is the ultimate goal for me, where I can have a real conversation with someone about their real self. Like today, I went to brunch with a close friend, and last year, as some of you know, was terrible for me. I was drinking alcoholically. I said terrible things, which I will not get into, because that could be a whole series by itself. I just want to preface, I never physically harmed anyone, mentally abused. Like abuse, I didn't abuse anyone, right? But I did and said things I wasn't proud of. I hurt people. Emotionally. I betrayed people's trust, everything. And my friend was one of these people. And for once, I went to brunch with an open mind and open heart. And the first 10 minutes were incredibly awkward for my friend. But I kept a face of positivity. I was genuinely intrigued about what he had been doing. I shared with him all the good things I was doing, not out of a place of I'm better than you, but because I knew he would be proud of. Because if someone came to me, even if I didn't know them that well, and said, hey, you know how I was a terrible alcoholic last year? This year I'm doing this, that. I'm happier. I'm not doing it for anyone else. I'm doing it for myself. I don't care who you are. I would be overjoyed. I would be overjoyed. And I hoped that he would be overjoyed because I've known him for so long. And I think he was very happy with me. He didn't really show it, but I could feel. You know why? Because with my constant efforts of trying to be positive, eventually we broke through. And we talked like we used to for the first time in over a year. We were chatting. We were talking a bit of shit. We were having a good time. For a time, I felt like I lost him. Like I'd lost that connection. And just by constantly trying to be positive, being understanding, and not trying to be fake, only through that way did I break that tension. And I watched a video by Justin Roulaine today, who's a I'd say very famous trader, day trader. And he made a video about the current, he's in the United States, about the current socio-economic situation in America. God, what a mouthful. And it was the good versus evil. He's a very Christian man. I'm personally not religious. I do believe there is a higher power, but I personally think there is too much blood soaked in religion for me to allow myself to follow religion. That's just my personal, I wouldn't even say preference, but yeah, that's just how I do it. So he was saying that, he's aware of the whole Epstein situation and what's going on in the United States and ICE and Trump and the Department of War, Israel, whatever, but he doesn't let it get to him. And I think that's beautiful. Is that you are aware, but it doesn't let you control your life. And that's what I'm talking about, the culture of fear-mongering. Did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? No, I don't want to. And it sounds so selfish. But how am I, 5 years from now, right, going to be the most positive person I know if all I'm seeing every day on my feed, all day every day, is just ICE killed someone, Donald Trump ate a baby? How am I meant to instill positivity and trust and love in others if what I'm consuming every day is bad news? How am I going to do that? What you see every day on social media is your virtual diet. In real life, if you eat complete shit, you are not going to look good. It's the same thing with social media. If you consume absolute shit, terrible news the whole time, you're gonna be a very nihilistic person. Very nihilistic. And I choose not to be like that. For me to be able to spread as much positivity as possible, I have to be aware of these problems because they're very serious problems. And sometimes I might refer to them. But I will not go down the rabbit hole of feeling bad, frustrated, angry about situations of the world. Even in my country, I'm in South Africa, and a month ago I was livid with Donald Trump and ICE. Whatever. I'm still angry, but it's not directly affecting me. And driving back home today, I realized something else. And for so long, I had an underlying almost hatred for my dad because he was an alcoholic. He made my early childhood terrible. But now he's a completely different person. But I still held on to that grudge. And rightfully so. It's completely understandable for someone to hold on to at least a little contempt towards their father if their father did that to them. But today I realize, when I was an alcoholic, I was a terrible person. So how am I now to judge him for how he treated me, considering how I treated others? And that put me into another perspective, That's what empathy is. Everyone says I'm empathetic, I can feel your pain, I can understand. But can you truly forgive someone? Can you truly forgive someone if you've never experienced what they've experienced? I can forgive someone right now. If someone was leading me on a lie for 2 years, right? Constantly lying to me about the same thing for 2 years, and they came and told me the truth, I would forgive them. I would forgive them. Because I understand that once you trap yourself in a lie, you'd do anything to maintain your self-image. And that's a problem. So recently, I've been so honest about everything. I've been so honest. I've been trying. I've been trying so hard. Because people deserve to know the truth and make their own informed decision. And another thing is that I think this could be a whole another video on itself, but addiction is so misunderstood. Everyone wants to judge the drug addict or the alcoholic, when they try and they fail and they try and they fail and they try and they fail. And then finally on the 8th time of trying, they stay down, they don't try again. Everyone will judge them. Not everyone, but most people say, I knew he never had it in him. He's just a lousy git. But people only become addicted to substances if they don't feel the connection of another human being. The reason I became an alcoholic was because I had almost no contact with my friends. I had no friends in Stellenbosch. I stopped doing all my sports. I was studying a degree I didn't like. When I lost connection to everything. And what did I do? I almost immediately, within, I think, about 6 months of being there, I was drinking this is a general, equivalent, but essentially a whole bottle of vodka a day. For 4 months. For 4 months. Just because it was the only thing that could fill the void of the missing human connection. This is bad. I really shouldn't be holding my debit card just in front of the camera. People need to realize that if you truly want to help someone through addiction, you have to be there for them. You have to provide what they're missing. If someone has everything, if someone feels fulfilled, for what reason would they need to become a drug addict? What would they need to fill? What would they need to fill? There's such I know I've used the word culture a lot this video, but there is a culture of individualism. Sorry. Where everything has to be about you. If someone fails, oh, shame, man. But you feel a bit better about yourself because, I lost it longer than them, right? Or I did better than them. The more I think about it, the more I don't understand hate. I don't understand hate. Nothing good comes from hate. Nothing. Nothing good comes from division, hate, fear-mongering, war. Nothing good. Nothing good comes from it at all. Nothing. In the long run, momentarily, sure. Even for a couple centuries, sure. But what are a couple centuries for 2 million years, right? I feel like I've reached a new understanding of where I need to be in life and what I want to do. I've completely let go of all my goals, right? I don't care about becoming super rich or looking amazing or sleeping the best, right? The minute I let go of my goals and started focusing on my systems of how I could get better, that's when everything changed. That's when all of this changed. That's when I started making YouTube videos again. That's when I started journaling, going to gym every day again, walking, talking to my mom more, meditating, reading. Did I already say reading? I don't know. But my one goal in life, I have one goal. And it's not, I'll explain why I have this one goal. And it's at some point to own as much natural land as possible and just preserve it. Just leave it wild. Leave it wild. And invite nature conservationists to come and study the animals. But just leave it. That would be my contribution to the world. Because I love nature. I love nature. So that's my goal. I don't care if I own a few square meters of land. I will own as much land as I can and preserve it, and I will not sell it. And if I have kids, God forbid they sell it. I plan to instill so much. I don't want to use the word positivity, but I'm going to use the word positivity. I want to instill so much positivity in them that they would have no want to sell the land at all. That's my only goal right now. That's my only goal. Right now, my reading, my YouTube videos, everything is for me. It's for me. I haven't felt this good. I don't think I've ever felt this good. I've never felt this much passion. You can go look at my old videos and you'll think, yeah, this guy had passion. It wasn't passion. It was me acting like I had passion. How long is this video? 20 minutes. I don't think I have a single video that's over 15 minutes. This is real passion. This is trying to make a real change. And I hope this higher power will somehow get this video out to as many people as possible. Not for me, but because I feel like people need to hear this. I need people to hear that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail. That's why so many people, don't go after things because they're scared of failure and being judged according to what you haven't achieved. Forget about others. If someone doesn't like you, forget about them. Fuck them. You need to get it into your head. This is your life. Now, why wouldn't you do everything in your power to make sure you feel happy within? There is no greater purpose in life than to try, be happy, and make others feel happier. That's all there is to it. And if there is a God, all right, let's say I die a non-religious man. If there is a God, I hope he judges me on what I've managed to give back to this world. Even if I go to hell because of, not believing them, I hope I go to that first layer of hell, which is slightly worse than earth. I forgot the levels of hell, but you get what I mean. I hope that's what I get judged for, not my mistakes, but my ability to work through them. Okay, that's all. I'm done. I'm gonna go get a little higher and drive around. Okay, cheers. Love you guys.